Saxon Algebra 2, Lesson 73. Greetings, students. Our topic today is moron radical denominators. Another one of those advanced, complex, moron lessons. Not morons. Not moron. No, that's not what I mean at all. That would be a sad name for a math lesson. Maybe I should just show you an example. Get away from these pesky words. We're supposed to simplify an expression that looks like this. Okay, now we learned how to deal with this, with the whole conjugate thing. I'll remind you of that in a minute. What's different is that this time we have a much more dramatic looking numerator. We used to have just like a single number up there. But now we've got a binomial with a radical on top. So it's going to create a little bit more multiplying drama for us, but the idea is exactly the same. We don't like this radical down here. We need to get rid of it. This isn't a binomial, so we can't just multiply by 3 square root of 3 or something like that. We have to deal with this. So what we do is we take the conjugate, which is exactly the same. First term and last term, we just change the sign of what's in between. And we're going to multiply it in a minute, but that's going to create this magical canceling out process that will turn this into a nice, plain, rational number. What we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top, though. And it's not going to turn out as pretty, but we have to deal with it. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply the two denominators together. I call that the bottom, and I set up a column here to do that. 2 minus 3 square root of 3 times 2 plus. Ready? So I'm multiplying those two pieces. 2 times 2, that's 4. 2 times that ugly thing is minus 6, right? Wolf times wolf. Okay, she's done dancing. Sit down, lady. Now it's this girl's turn. She multiplies across. Again, wolf times wolf. Okay, now I'm looking at this. These two multiply. And I know that's going to turn it into a whole number. So I'm going to try doing that in my head. It's going to be minus 3 times 3 is 9 times one more 3 that's going to come when I put those together, right? One pig's going to hop out of there and make a third 3. And so that's going to be minus 27. So I'm going to write that over here so it can chill with this number. Make sense? These cancel. I add, and I get negative 23. It's kind of an ugly number, but that's correct. We did that just fine. Now, remember before I would do this and we really didn't have much to do over here? Well, now we have drama. 4 plus square root of 3 times 2 plus 3 square root of 3. Well, the good news is I noticed right away those two numbers match. And so there is going to be a little canceling out there. But let's see what else happens. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times square root of 3, 2 square root of 3. Now if she sits down, over to her, wolf times wolf, 12 square root of 3. Plus, okay, this is going to make 2 pigs jumping out. 3 times 3 is 9, so I'm going to add 9 right there. And so this total is going to become 17 plus 14 square root of 3. All right, now we put it back together. 17 plus 14 square root of 3, that's the top. This is the bottom. Well, that looks weird, doesn't it? Because that minus sign is just sitting in the denominator. So what I'm going to do is say, let's multiply top and bottom by minus 1 to clean this up. I don't like the way that looks. And so for my final answer, I'm going to get minus 17, right? Because I'm going to distribute this. Helps to see the parentheses sometimes. Minus 17 minus 14 square root of 3 over positive 23. That is the way John likes the answer. And I'm good with that too. I don't like that minus sign down there. I think that looks weird. But if you understood how we got it here, then you're ahead of the game. Let's do another one. That one ate up the whole page, didn't it? Oh my gosh, we're so smart, you guys. We do problems that take the whole page. And there isn't a lot new to say about this operation in the other examples we're gonna do. John just gives us more chances to practice together. Isn't he sweet? Okay, simplify that. Again, our attention goes directly to the denominator. That's what we want to clean up. We multiply by the conjugate, which is the same beginning term, the same ending term. Sorry, I wrote that wrong. With a change of sign in between. It's not always positive going to minus. Sometimes it's minus and plus. Doesn't matter. But whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. Let's check the bottom first and make sure the conjugate trick worked. All right, always helps to take a deep breath right there. Look out the window for a minute. Is it raining or snowing? It's doing something outside. I think it's too warm to be snowing and I'm sad. No, snow, don't melt. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times that mess. Multiply the wolves. Okay, you're done. Now it's this girl's turn. Multiply the wolves. And now this is always the big finish, right? It's going to be minus 3 times 3, and then there's going to be one more 2 because these 2 pigs are going to come out as a wolf. So it's going to be 3 times 3 times 2. That is 9, and times 2 is 18. So that is going to be minus 18. This will all cancel, and this will become a minus 2. Okay, there's my new denominator just waiting for me. And now we'll do the top. 4 minus square root of 2. Okay. Same thing, we do the dance. Let's start with her. 4 times 4 is 16. Minus 4 square root of 2, right? A wolf and a pig, so just push them together. She's done. Now it's this girl's turn. She's a wolf and a pig, and that's just a wolf. So minus 12 square root of 2. And now for the big finish, plus 3. Those 2 come out as a wolf, so it will be plus 6. So now we get, for our total here, 22 minus 16 square root of 2. That's our new denominator. Let's put them together. 22 minus 16 square root of 2. Ay, 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 that's a lot, right? A big crazy mess. Let's do this. These are both even numbers, and we have a 2 down there. So I'm pretty sure I can factor out a 2 from these 2 numbers, and then I can cancel it. Let's factor out a minus 2 so that we'll get rid of that minus sign in the bottom. So I'm going to pull a minus 2 out of the top. That will become minus 11, right? Because those 2 multiply together to give me positive 22. And then it will be plus 8. So when I multiply those together, I'll get the minus 16 again. Then we'll toss that pig in there. And that will all be over minus 2. And that cancels, and that cancels. And so my final answer is minus 11 plus 8 times the square root of 2. So in that one, we actually got the denominator to completely go away. Be gone, denominator. We don't need you in our lives. All right, ready? Now for the grand finale, one more problem. You're gonna have to really strap in for this one. Ready? 3 times the square root of 12 . Okay, that's ungodly, isn't it? That's just a big fat mess. But we can do it. Our process is going to hold up. We're just going to have a lot more drama in our multiplications. But what I'm noticing right here, square root of 12, I don't want a square root that big. I know I can reduce that because I know this breaks down into 2 times 2 times 3. Those are the prime numbers. So I know I can pull a pair of pigs out and multiply a 2 out there. And so this could actually be 6 times the square root of 3 instead of 3 times the square root of 12. And I'd rather multiply that because I don't want to be multiplying things by 12. That's disgusting. So I'm pulling out the pair of 2's and multiplying that as a wolf out here to get the 6, and that leaves me with just this guy inside. So I do that instead. All right, but now let's do the conjugate. 3 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 2. So that's what we have to multiply top and bottom with. Okay, let's do the bottom first. As always, I do that just to double check to make sure I'm using my conjugate properly because this should clean up real nice. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. 1 more 3 is 27. Again, we multiply wolves times wolves, pigs times pigs, minus 6 square root of 6. All right, hopefully that's going to drop out. She's done, her turn. Here we go, wolves times wolves, pigs times pigs, plus 6 square root of 6. And now we're ready for the grand finale here. That is minus, these two come out and make a third 2, so that's minus 8. Okay, that cancels. 27 minus 8 is 19. Okay, the conjugates did their job. Yay. Let's do the top. Now, this I fix. So this is 6 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3. Oh, wait a minute. When I do it like that, look what happens. This can be rewritten as 4 square root of 3. By cleaning up this radical, I found that I can actually make that subtraction. And now all I have to do is multiply 4 square root of 3 times 3 square root of 3 plus 2 square root of 2. Okay, so I still have to multiply the conjugate, but once I simplified this lead radical in my numerator, I found I could actually combine those, right? 6 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3. When I wrote that down, the light bulb went on and I realized, oh, I can actually do that subtraction. So now my simplification is much easier. I don't have to multiply 2 binomials. I just have a single term in my original denominator. So I'm really glad I simplified first. Now I can multiply, let's see, wolves times wolves, pigs times pigs. This is 4 times 3, and then these guys will come together to make a second 3. So that will be, what, 36? Right? It's 4 times 3 times 3. And then plus, now I multiply this times this. Wolves times wolves is 8 square root of 6. Okay? That is my final answer. That's my denominator. So 36 plus 8 square root of 6 over 19. So the moral of the story, kids, is simplify when you can and look for little moments like that where you can actually combine things and make your process easier. Yay, lesson 73. Feel smart. You guys, these are really hard problems. And if you are even remotely following what I'm doing, then I say yay for you. Now, go do something nice for yourself because your brain probably hurts. That's the end of lesson 73. Goodbye.